Yeah. So with us today is Muhammad. Now I always have it. We always know each other by nicknames, you know.
Yeah.
So I call him Chum. I don't know if are we allowed to say that on
Yeah,
air?
yeah.
Yeah. So, but actually, I found out today your real name.
Yeah, after like what,
After
30
30 years,
years.
you know. So it's like Zairulnizam.
Yes,
That's an excellent name,
yes.
and I've noted, I've seen you on, of course, you're a regular on LinkedIn, and everyone sees your posts, and you're doing really well as well. And you've started a company called Accordia.
Yeah, yeah. Company is about 14 years old now,
Okay,
and we do a lot of games and simulation design, and
okay,
we use that as a mean to deliver content.
okay, cool. Now we're having lunch, and we're at Le Méridien again. For those who know, I love the burger here, but because of health reasons, and I'm trying to lose weight, this guy is still a health freak. And look at him. He went with the. What did you go with?
The energy booster salad.
Yeah.
Yes.
He still rides bikes. Now in high school, he was one of the fastest kids on the track, and he's still pretty quick. I see from his stuff. So we're going to enjoy a bit of lunch. We're going to learn a little bit about gamification, and what you're doing with learning, and I'm really interested in understanding that better.
Okay.
I'm also interested, and I think a lot of people are interested on mental health. You know, what are we going to do there? I think it's a reoccurring theme now with what's going on with COVID-19 and all kinds of new anxieties popping up. But what have you seen happen with your business in the last 12, 18 months?
Okay.
As I eat some yummy food.
Yeah. She's gonna eat first.
Yeah. You
So-
talk, I eat.
Yeah. So I think that's a very important question, especially what's been happening, and even looking in the training industry.
Mm.
There's really two pockets of providers. They have people who have fallen to be the victim, and they're kind of confused. They're a little bit lost. They're a little bit worried in terms of it's not just finances. It's also about which direction should the business go, and what else they can do. That is in a sense of business.
Right.
The other pocket are people who have taken this situation and turned it into an opportunity.
All right.
And not many, but one or two have actually made more profit
Okay.
during the pandemic than they did before the
Are you one of those guys? I hope so. I mean, look at this guy. He's wearing a nice suit, so it must be.
It's borrowed.
Okay. It's good. It's good. No, and I think this is one of the things that, and we'll let you eat some of the food.
I'm
and
just
like-
passing it back to you, so that gives me the opportunity to do this.
you guys will notice that we're doing something different as well today with the cameras. Okay, we can switch cameras now. We've been playing with technology. Boom. Look at that. Handsome. Look at the lighting effect. We got some side lighting. Yeah, Chum used to do a little bit of modeling. He still probably can. But one of the things that I always like to talk about is look at the positive effects. Look at the positive ability to change. So everything was taken off the table because of COVID-19.
Yeah.
So now you can put things back on the table. And technology, and why I was talking about, we're playing with the technology today. That's why we're late to start. I apologize. Actually, we have 3 cameras, but only 2 are working. And it's not because we didn't try. But things have changed.
Yeah.
You can either, like what you said earlier, be a victim, or you can say, okay, what are the opportunities? Because I think people still want to make money.
Yes.
People, I think, need to remain positive.
Right.
And I think people still need to grow as individuals. So I think that's kind of your sweet spot, right?
Right. I mean, if you look at individuals per se, how is the MCO affected us? We're not allowed to go out. How do we manage being at home, working from home, eating from home? free time from home, recreation time from home.
Yeah.
So everything is now in one location, and you don't really have the freedom to go out and explore. And how do you manage that? Let alone work. And of course, this has affected a lot of people that I know in terms of not just running their business, also those who are employed became unemployed.
Yeah.
And especially tourism, like absolutely no opportunity at all.
Hammered.
So what can they do? So people that I know, some of them go through a series of either depression or they're really stressed out. They're unable to figure out any solution. They don't know what to do. So it's always about wait and see. And
is it the answer?
Waiting and see is not the answer.
Okay.
I mean, it could be the answer for those who are already secure. That means they've already they prepare themselves. They can possibly wait and see because they have things that are ready for action. But those who do not have anything on standby or plan B, they
Plan
don't
B,
have anything. So maybe we are the ones who have to look for opportunities, have to figure things out, have to think a little bit outside the box, and move forward.
Okay.
Of course, ultimately, it's about getting some income.
Of course,
getting some work.
Got to pay the bills, right?
Got to pay the bills.
Now, Zairul, I want to try out your new name. It's your old name. And
I feel so awkward.
Zairul, please eat some food.
Yes.
And this is one thing that I've kind of noticed. There are people who have remained positive.
Yep.
And then there are those people have kind of slipped into a kind of negative mindset. And you can see it. They've maybe even put on weight or all kinds of physical manifestations of that reality. How do you deal with, like, if a company comes to you and says, "Look, I've got a bunch of staff. They're all working from home. How do we motivate them better?" Because everyone's like, "Okay, we must monitor now our staff. Like, let's get a CCTV camera and let's make sure that they start at 9 o'clock and finish at 5 o'clock," which they were never doing in the first place. They were starting probably at 8 something in the morning and finishing at God knows what hour, and got home at who knows when because of the traffic. How do you manage, or how would you propose to manage this new working relationship for companies who want? I mean, for me, you still have to pay your staff.
Yeah.
But staff still have to be productive.
Correct.
So what's gamification doing to work?
Okay, I think that's a very important question.
Yeah.
And I can share with you what we did. Of course, it kind of affected us at the beginning. We were like in the shock mode, don't know what to do, what should we do next. But we did know one thing is to stay connected. Of course, not the entire working hours. It's like, excuse me, I need to go to the toilet.
Yeah, off the video, guys. Like, that lady in that first video.
Exactly.
Yeah, she's amazing, but off the video.
So we kept in touch. So we clock in at 9 o'clock as usual.
Okay.
And it's not always about reporting what we're going to do today.
All right.
We put in some variation. And so this is where gamification comes in, right?
All right.
Our game, we play a little bit of games. Sometimes there's charade. There are a lot of
Twister,
free resources.
Maybe? How do you play Twister online? I mean, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Just like that. Virtual Twister. I won again. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
So, like charades, that's a little bit easier when you play that online. There's a lot of free resources that you can use. That is one variation.
All right.
There are also tools to keep each other updated. Like checklists that you could use. So things that you need to get done today, and you've done it. So it's like a psychological satisfaction when you tick something off.
Okay.
Get it done, right?
All right.
So that's one. Because we are in the game design simulation industry, we do a lot of play testing. And one of
Play testing.
yes, because
How do you? So what do you test how you play?
yeah,
Or
we
you?
experiment with a lot
Okay.
of our own games. So we
Okay.
actually have a designer team, a team
Okay.
who design games and simulation. And
Okay,
when
how
we
do
have
we
an
get
idea,
into this team?
so when we have an idea,
Yeah.
we just explore and we play it online. And I
Okay.
think this is what we basically do a whole day. We
All right.
eat and we play,
Okay.
right? And that's our
No
job.
wonder you're so happy. No wonder you're so happy. But
Our office is like a adult version of Toys R Us.
Toys R
right?
Us. Okay. All
We got
right.
lots of toys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Toys R Us. Next episode, you should sponsor us, Toys R Us, if you're watching.
Yes.
You know, we're more than happy. We've got some questions coming. Hi, Rehan. What are your thoughts regarding signs and symptoms of mental health issues? And then I think there's another one on where is it? Normal experience pandemic fatigue and COVID-19
Yeah.
from Zuleika.
Right.
What? Maybe answer those two together.
Yeah.
What? How? Like if you're a manager, you know, you're a quote unquote boss
Yeah.
or a leader. You know, you've seen those memes, right? The difference between a leader and a boss. But you're in charge of a team. What are the symptoms you will see people who are like lagging behind,
Yeah.
and what do you do to kind of deal with that pandemic lag or pandemic
Right.
attrition?
Yeah, I think that's a very important question, and especially where you are working from home,
Hmm.
and the only means of communicating with your team is virtually.
Okay.
And when it's virtual, it becomes very obvious if somebody is off key. I mean, they're
Yeah.
a little bit stressed out, or they're falling behind in terms of performance.
Mhm.
It becomes very obvious.
All right.
One is they're not communicating, or they're not delivering what they're supposed to deliver. They're a little bit out of touch with what is going on,
Okay.
with what's happening in the office or what's happening in the organization. They're a little
All
bit
right.
out of touch. So, and that is one that you can see very clearly.
Yeah.
I would propose that the manager, as a manager or the person in charge, to speak to them directly, have one-to-one, right?
Okay.
I think this will be a very important avenue for you to do a little bit of coaching, because you need to find out a little bit if it's work-wise, or is it because they are trying to balance many things at the same time, or they feel that they're a little bit overwhelmed with work,
Mm-hmm.
or overwhelmed with too many things happening at the same spot. So
Mhm.
these are things that possibly we need to inquire
Okay.
to find out what is really happening. Because
Cool.
these are symptoms that you probably need to pick up first,
All right.
and then you need to what kind of action you should take.
Okay.
Now, if it goes to a level where it requires expertise, right?
Mhm.
As a manager, you can do so much. Then
All right.
possibly you could recommend.
All right.
Because the pandemic, if it's not minor, if it's not just stress, it becomes
Yeah.
something that's a little bit more clinical.
All right.
So, for example, you need to see a psychologist, you need to see
All
a
right.
counselor. So, I would recommend
Uh-huh.
to first identify, then
Okay.
you analyze what level is this condition, and then if it's something that you are able to do yourself,
Mm.
or something that you want to refer to a specialist.
All right. Have ha, have you in the context of helping these companies? I know you help quite a lot of companies with this kind of new way of work. This new and the chef at we're at Le Méridien, by the way. The chef has done a wonderful job with your salad,
Yes.
but you haven't. Dig into it. I'm having the lamb pasta, which is really good, and I offered to Zairul to try some pasta earlier, but he said no, you'd have to do extra running. Um, so I'm inviting him for fencing. I'll be inviting him for fencing, which is the way I. Here we go. It's another camera angle.
There you go.
Well done to our tech team. It's not the angle that we want, but it's another angle. But one of the things that I wanted to really get into to understanding is this idea that, okay, a staff comes to you and says, look, I want to raise, I want to, and you know who you are. All staff, I'm happy to pay more. Actually, this is the fun thing that if people realize. The challenge for a business owner is, look, we can pay you more. You need to perform better. With that performance, that productivity then allows higher profitability. And, that profitability should be shared. How are you helping companies with that kind of gap in kind of profitability and productivity? And do people see it that way? And can we use gamification to change the idea?
Okay.
Well, I enjoy
That's
more.
a very powerful question. Especially when it comes to salary and what you're supposed to deliver. I guess it goes both ways in terms of when you are expecting something a little bit higher, your responsibility also goes a little bit higher. And for business owners, that's always a plus. Because plus meaning I'm able to give you a task without me turning back every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
That means the next time I see you, it is done. So it is just a reporting. So for business owner, that will be a plus. That means you can resolve a lot of the things that we are supposed to do, without turning back, without wasting a lot of time, without doing extra coaching, without advising or guiding. That means you are able to run things by yourself. Ultimately, you maybe be the next person who can run the organization.
By all means, right?
Exactly. So I think that money will definitely come. The higher salary will definitely come without you even asking.
Okay.
So it's always about how you can deliver more and how you can produce quality or bring the organization with higher standard than what it is now.
Okay.
That is definitely a plus.
Okay.
And I don't think money would be an issue. If you can bring it to a different level.
Now, Cheryl, thank you for your question. Dear Muhamad Zairulnizam, being an expat and in Malaysia, do you still have do your sessions on HIV and AIDS? You're wonderful for bringing that to your social work. You're not just a gamification guru. You're not just a productivity man. You're someone doing a lot for society. And Cheryl's also asked, I think everyone wants to know these mental health questions. Food habits, reducing or increasing mental health. For me, pasta is part of a mental health thing. I love eating it. I feel better. But it can show.
Right. What
are your ideas too? Mental health, food. I know that's all the easy questions today. Thank you. And then tell us a bit about what you've done for those vulnerable people.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. So for in regards, let's go with food first.
Yeah, sure.
Because I have some in front of me.
Yeah.
And squeeze one in.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Now I can talk.
No, it's okay. I'll say something while you chew.
Okay.
All right,
now,
go.
Food always have a strong correlation to your mental health.
Okay.
The psychological theme is there's always what we call comfort food. Right? But certain food, the chemical in the food, the content of the food is also respond to your body, right?
Yeah.
Ultimately, it affects your hormones, affects your cells. There's food that is meant for your cells. There's food that has nutrition. There's food that has no nutrition, right? That's why they call junk food.
Yeah.
Right? So definitely it has a very strong correlation between what you consume and your health. Definitely. Even not just food, it's also where you get your food.
Where you get your food.
Exactly. Where you get your food.
Why?
Meaning.
How?
Or let me give you this example. And this example is on me.
Okay.
I am proud to say it has been a year now. A year and 1 month since I last went to the clinic.
Okay.
Since I last been to a doctor or on antibiotics. It's been one solid entire year.
Okay.
Now,
How is that
because of the
possible?
pandemic?
Yeah.
It is possible because
You washed your hands.
yes,
Good.
and
Sorry, I'm
sanitized, you know.
interrupting. Yeah.
It is because part and parcel is a lot more home cooked meal. So
Mhm.
we know exactly what we put inside. We know
Okay.
exactly the amount of oil.
Mhm.
We know exactly how we clean the food. So I think that has a big contribution to at least my health.
Okay.
So that is food.
All right.
Second is because it has also a contribution to your general health
Mhm.
and mental health. I made a vow since then. I would work out or do something every day.
Okay.
Anything, walk, jog, cycle, something.
Yeah.
Do something. So
This guy can run the 400 meters last time. I
that's
would
okay.
watch him. Like I'd start the race, but I'm like, no, I'm not going to finish it because this guy just burns up this. Anyway,
Mhm.
so he's still got it. Go ahead.
I think the key is also to hang out with people who are younger than you. So it
Okay.
kind of force you to
Force you to stay fit.
keep up with them.
Yeah. Your
So
kids.
so what you consume and your movement. So I think
Okay.
these would definitely be a strong contribution to your health or even your mental health.
Okay.
There's one secret
Okay.
that people may not or may slip, that water,
Water.
is vital to your daily function. I have met throughout my life people who do not drink water, and believe it or not, I was also
One of those guys.
one of those guys who did not drink water.
What did you drink before?
I was a cocaaholic.
Oh,
Yes, I hate to admit it, but yes, I was.
cocaaholic.
I'm a recovered cocaaholic.
Okay.
Yes.
It's been 1 year and okay.
Yes. It has been. I believe it is 20 years now.
Oh, nice.
I mean, I
Nice.
still consume coke, but not
Yeah.
like how I consumed before. Right? I went to a series, a period of my life where I cannot sleep until I had my dosage
Coke.
of Coke,
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola, the drink,
Yeah.
just to
Strictly
strictly drink.
drink.
So I moved from that, and so once you have a family, you decided that I want to
Yeah.
make sure I can see my grandkids and lead a healthy life.
Yeah.
So part and parcel of going back to the mental health, part and parcel. So it's not just about the food you consume and you hydrate; it's also the movement. Now,
Okay.
when you move, what it does is, you see, when we are stressed, we develop this hormones, cortisol,
Yeah.
which is what I would like to call this superhuman power juice that we
Okay.
have, right? And we need this because this helps our body respond.
Okay.
Say, for example, if you're chased by bees, right?
Bees.
By
Is
bees
that
or
what
by
you're afraid
dogs.
of?
I'm allergic to
You-
bees, by the
okay.
way.
Like this tough guy is afraid of bees. Okay. Bears, maybe. Okay. Let's go with the killer bees from the jungle
Yes,
to make you sound
with
cooler.
bare features.
Yes.
So, so we have two choices. One is to fight,
Okay.
another one is to flight, right?
Uh-huh.
Fight or flight response. So, fight or flight, we still need the same energy. Right? So
Okay.
when we produce this stress hormones,
Uh-huh.
and the stress hormone is produced daily, right? Traffic jam, work stress, being at home stress, etc.,
Reports. Yeah.
reports,
Uh,
what to eat. It's
yeah.
also stressful. Are you feeling it now?
I'm just thinking, oh my god, I'm starting to sweat.
Proposal.
This proposal. I haven't done that one for this guy. Yeah.
Exactly. So all this superhuman juice is there for a purpose. It needs to be used. It needs to be
All right.
consumed.
Okay.
So if we don't consume, it becomes counterproductive.
Okay.
So this is when we hurt ourselves.
Okay.
Right? So that means we need to use this superhuman juice by movement, by moving. We got to burn it out.
Yeah.
So in the case of the jungle killer bees that look like bears, you use the superhuman juice to run away from them,
Yep.
or you use the superhuman juice to fight against them.
Use it or lose it.
Exactly.
I remember this saying.
Use it or it will go against you.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
you gotta move. You gotta do something.
Yeah.
for you to consume the superhuman juice.
All right.
Right. So even if you're stuck at home, even if you have to work from home, there are literally gazillion videos on YouTube, how you can exercise from home. There are
Yeah.
tips and so many to choose
Yeah.
from, and you can just use them. You don't need any equipment. You just need your body weight. That's all.
Just press play and follow.
Exactly.
So yeah, Waalaikumsalam, Mariza. Great to have you again from Jakarta. I keep promising as soon as we can go to Jakarta, we're going to Jakarta, and you have to be our first guest, really. Now, the other concern is for me, and this is the thing that I think is killing me slowly. Is sleep.
Mm.
So, that either the kind of lack of sleep, because it's so easy because you're at home, and then your sleep pattern is just like ruined.
Right.
How does that all play into this? And is there a gamification solution? How do we gamify ourselves? So, okay, it's almost like, how do we I'm just thinking of the solution right now. How do we pretend that we're like 5-year-old kid again and say, oh, mommy says I got to go to bed? Or what's the game?
Right. Wow, that is so important because
Yeah.
sleep usually is something that people take for granted of.
Mhm.
I have extra work. It's okay. I'll just sleep a little bit late and wake up a little bit early, or I can sleep in.
Yeah.
And sleep definitely has a strong contribution to our mental health or health in general as well. How to gamify is very simple, and now in terms of technology, if you use your phone or you use a smartwatch or that keeps track of your sleeping pattern.
Okay.
And sometimes you can program where it reminds you this is the time you sleep now, so you should go to sleep.
Yeah.
I know this is sometimes a little bit fantasy-like. In reality, we have so many things to handle, but
And HBO. Sorry.
And HBO and Netflix.
Yeah.
And they're not sponsoring us.
They're not.
Okay.
They should.
And what happens is your devices will remind you to go to sleep.
All right.
And you may not be able to follow 100%, but most of the time, practice that.
Yeah.
And wake up at the same time every morning.
Okay.
And you also need to go with what works for you. It's never something that is, it's never one size fit all.
Okay.
And everybody's got to go with what is suitable for them. For some people, sleeping 4 hours is just enough.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
I'm not one of them.
I know neither. Yeah.
Okay, so you got to have your best practice. Use whatever facilities that's available. Even if you don't have a smartwatch or if you don't have a smartphone, use a traditional alarm clock. Alarm clock to remind you to go to sleep, and alarm clock to remind you to wake up. So you have two different sets.
Pavlov's dogs.
Correct.
Yeah. No problem. Now the other thing, we've got another camera angle to play with.
Nice.
All right, let's try. We're like breaking the third wall. I feel like what's that guy from Marvel? He wears a red suit.
Iron Man?
No. The Deadpool.
Oh.
Deadpool always breaks the fourth window. But I wanted to, and then Sohala. It's a bit hard for me to read out. So how do you choose and probably make the balance between prioritizing your mental health and getting your work on par with this? So I'm going to make you answer that in 30 seconds because I still want to know about. There's one question I want you to talk about. One thing is the pandemic has hit vulnerable people hard. You've done a lot of work with vulnerable people in Malaysia, AIDS and HIV communities. What can we do as business owners? What can we do as corporations? And what CSR programs can we think of to help people during this time? So we've got to answer Soleha's question first, and then you've got to get straight into, oh my God, Nurul as well.
Okay. So let's see, mental health and getting our work on par with our own expectation and target. Okay. So just like what I was explaining in terms of mental health, you must find a balance. I mean, if you focus on work and only work, of course, natural result, you'll be burnt out.
Yeah.
You don't want to look at work ever. So you must have that balance, especially managing your own expectation and as well as the organization's expectation. You may not be able to produce results, a high quality result when you're not well either. So that's why you gotta have that balance of you gotta take care of your health, you gotta make sure that you're stable in that sense, and as well as delivering what you're supposed to deliver.
Yeah.
So you gotta prioritize. Is that
Okay.
30 seconds?
35, but okay, we'll pass you on this one.
Great.
Now, tell us about vulnerable communities. What game should we be playing to help them?
Right.
What's the game plan? I mean, there's so many words you can use. Game playing, gamification. I love it. Go.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. So in terms of community, especially now, you cannot reach out. I mean, that during the flood victim, there's flooding. Not all of us are able to contribute our time and energy to help them out, especially where during the pandemic. So you got to be a little bit more out of the box, thinking about how can I contribute.
Okay.
In the training industry, I have seen a lot of trainers who are sharing their resources, sharing their ideas, sharing their input, webinar, via Zoom or Facebook. And these people are just reaching out because this is one of the way for us to reach out and contribute. You can also see the wealth in terms of community service. People offering coaching, people offering counseling, anybody who needs help, people who offer money.
Okay.
Those who are really struggling, they can't feed their family, personal message me and see what we can contribute.
Okay.
There are mystery donators who just pump money here and there wherever they can help. And I mean, in a sense that you this is your own game and your own game, thinking that how can I contribute. In this game, unfortunately or fortunately, there are no leaderboards and nobody's keeping track of what you're giving. It's just you and how you can contribute as a member of the community. And I think that's important. And just like what you're doing now, you
enjoying lunch
and
gamification of
sharing ideas.
I call it gamification of lunch. Then I'm. Thank you, Zairul. I was like chum, like So, before we let you go and eat some or most of your salad, how is it, by the way? The bits that you got to try.
It's yummy.
Okay, good.
I think it's in the dressing.
It's the dressing, and it's kind of a cute little watering can of dressing. Well done to whoever bought this stuff. How are we in terms of designing a future? How are we going to design our post-COVID-19 society? And how are you thinking that is going to look like?
Okay. Well, it is actually an opportunity for a new world. It's completely different. If I throw the training industry, it used to be purely classroom.
Okay.
We need to be face to face.
All right.
But because of this, it has become like a lot of training providers out there are going into hybrid. That means we'll have a little bit of both. People think about facilities that they can use now. In terms of how we can save cost to our customers.
Right.
Now they don't have traveling time, they don't have traveling costs. So we have a mixture of both. So I think this is and that is, I assume, is just the beginning. And if we have not learned from this pandemic, I mean, it's still going on, right? I think it is such a missed opportunity because this is an opportunity for us to see what's happening and be prepared to what's going to happen in the future, right? It's not just about flying cars. It is about how do we maintain the community? How do we maintain, people still stay strong and be productive, and how we can also assist and help each other. think
Okay.
that is really what the future is.
Okay, brilliant, brilliant. Well, I want to thank you for joining us today on a working lunch. Another camera angle. Without noticing, Diong, thank you for your hard work behind the scenes. Thank you, Muhamad Zairulnizam. Still getting used to his full
He's got a cheat sheet
real
there.
name. I'm hiding it down there. Someone as I mentioned earlier in the show, someone we've known each other for a very long time, and I really appreciate your insights, and I really appreciate what your company is doing and what you're doing as an individual to help society and help people. So keep it up, keep up the good work. We will let you get stuck into this really yummy lunch. And with that, I also want to thank everyone for tuning in today. And for those questions that we didn't get to answer, I'll make sure that we get in and answer them after we've had dessert and our coffee, so that we give the feedback. And I think continue what you're doing, and thank you everyone. And let's continue to chart our future out of this, the economic impacts and the social impacts of COVID-19. So thank you very much, and we'll see you again next week.
Bye-bye.